Ever wondered why heartbreak physically hurts? When someone you love leaves or lets you down, that ache in your chest isn't just poetic metaphor, it's literal physiological pain. Your brain is firing the same distress signals as if you'd broken a bone or burned your hand. Researchers like Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA have shown that social rejection and physical pain share identical neural pathways in the anterior cingulate cortex, the part of your brain that processes discomfort. When your partner texts, "We need to talk," or stops replying, your body goes on high alert, flooding your system with stress hormones like cortisol. Your nervous system can't distinguish between emotional abandonment and physical threat. It just knows something vital is missing, and it screams about it through every nerve ending. Think about the last time you got truly physically hurt. Maybe you stubbed your toe or cut your finger. Your body's response was immediate. Sharp attention, adrenaline, a rush of blood to the area. Now recall a recent heartbreak moment, that sinking feeling when you realize they're not coming back, the hollow pit in your stomach when you see their photo. Your body is doing something remarkably similar. Edward Smith's team at Columbia University found that looking at photos of an ex-partner activates the same secondary somatosensory cortex that lights up when you touch something hot. Your brain is literally mapping emotional loss onto physical pain receptors, creating sensations of burning, stabbing, or heavy pressure in your chest and gut. It's not all in your head, it's in your entire nervous system. This happens because humans evolved as social creatures. Our survival literally depended on staying connected to the tribe. Being alone meant vulnerability to predators, lack of food sharing, no protection. According to anthropologist Robin Dunbar's research at Oxford University, social bonds were as critical to early humans as finding water or shelter. So your brain developed an alarm system. When connection is threatened, it sends out chemical warnings that feel physically painful. These aren't random misfires. They're ancient, hardwired survival mechanisms. The ache you feel is your nervous system's way of saying, "This connection mattered for your well-being and now it's gone." It's trying to motivate you to repair the bond or find new connection, just like physical pain motivates you to pull your hand from a flame. Let's zoom in on what's happening chemically. When you're in love, your brain releases oxytocin and dopamine, the bonding and reward chemicals. These create feelings of safety, pleasure, and connection. Think of them as your brain's "everything is okay" signals. When heartbreak hits, that supply gets cut off abruptly. Helen Fisher's research at Rutgers University shows that rejected lovers experience a drop in serotonin similar to what's seen in obsessive-compulsive disorders. Your brain goes into withdrawal, craving the chemical reassurance it's been receiving. Meanwhile, stress hormones like cortisol spike, creating that anxious, jittery feeling. Your body is essentially going through a chemical cold turkey, and it protests with physical symptoms: tight chest, restless legs, stomach knots, headaches. Your autonomic nervous system gets involved too. That's the part that controls automatic functions like breathing, heart rate, and digestion. Heartbreak triggers the sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response. Your heart might race, palms sweat, breathing becomes shallow. University of Arizona researcher Corey Floyd has documented how relational stress directly impacts cardiovascular function, sometimes for months after the breakup. This isn't psychological weakness, it's biology responding to perceived threat. Your body is preparing to either fight for the relationship or flee the pain, even if neither option makes logical sense in modern dating. The physical sensations are your body's attempt to mobilize energy for survival action. Sleep disruption is another major physical symptom. Heartbreak often brings insomnia or fitful sleep because your brain stays on high alert, scanning for threats. Matthew Walker's sleep research at UC Berkeley shows that emotional distress reduces deep sleep cycles, leaving you tired but wired. Your brain processes emotional memories during REM sleep. So, when those memories are painful, your sleep architecture gets disrupted. You might wake at the same time each night, heart pounding, mind racing through what ifs and should haves. This isn't you being dramatic. It's your limbic system treating the loss as an ongoing emergency that requires constant vigilance. Now, here's something crucial to understand. These physical sensations are messengers, not enemies. They're pointing toward real human needs for connection, safety, belonging, understanding. When your chest aches, it's saying, "I needed to feel secure with someone." When your stomach knots, it's saying, "I needed predictability and care." There's actually a quiet, beautiful game built around this exact idea, a 3D sanctuary called Inner Phoenix, but more on that in a minute. Let's keep going first. The pain isn't random suffering, it's information about what mattered to you in that relationship. University of Texas psychologist James Pennebaker's expressive writing studies show that acknowledging these needs directly reduces physical symptoms over time. This brings us to a key distinction between the story of the breakup and the physical experience of it. Your mind might be spinning narratives about who was right or wrong, what you could have done differently, whether they'll come back. But underneath those thoughts are raw physical sensations, heaviness, tightness, hollow emptiness. Psychologist Eugene Gendlin called this the felt sense, and his focusing technique teaches how to separate the bodily experience from the mental chatter. When you notice my chest feels tight rather than I'll never love again, you're working with the actual physiology rather than the catastrophic prediction. This small shift begins to calm the nervous system. So what helps when heartbreak physically hurts? First, validation, acknowledging that yes, this is real pain, not imagination. Psychologist Kristin Neff's self-compassion research at Utah Austin shows that treating yourself with kindness during distress actually reduces cortisol levels and increases heart rate variability, signaling nervous system regulation. Try placing a hand where it hurts, chest, stomach, throat, and saying, I feel you. This is hard. This simple gesture activates the caregiving system in your brain, releasing oxytocin to counter the stress chemicals. It sounds almost too simple, but Faraday scans show it literally changes brain activity patterns within minutes. Breathing practices offer direct access to calming the physical symptoms. The vagus nerve runs from your brainstem through your chest and abdomen, connecting to most major organs. Heartbreak often leaves it overstimulated, contributing to that sick-to-your-stomach feeling. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory explains how slow, deep breathing, especially with extended exhalations, stimulates the vagus nerve's calming branch. Try inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 2, exhaling for 6. Repeat 5 times. University of North Carolina research, led by Douglas Menin, shows this reduces physical anxiety symptoms more effectively than trying to think positive. Movement is medicine for heartbreak pain. When you're emotionally devastated, your body often wants to curl up, freeze, or collapse. But gentle movement, walking, stretching, yoga, releases endorphins that naturally relieve physical discomfort. UCLA neuroscientist Alex Korb explains in his book The Upward Spiral how dopamine increases with even mild physical activity, countering the chemical depletion of heartbreak. The movement doesn't need to be intense. A 10-minute walk around the block signals to your nervous system that you're safe enough to move through the world again. This helps rebuild the sense of agency that heartbreak strips away. Hydration and nutrition matter more than you'd think. Heartbreak stress dehydrates you. Tears, sweating, rapid breathing all use up water. Dehydration intensifies fatigue, headaches, and that overall wiped out feeling. Meanwhile, your gut microbiome communicates directly with your brain via the vagus nerve, influencing mood and stress response. University of California research by Emmer and Mayer shows that fermented foods and fiber support gut health during emotional stress. It's not about eating perfectly, but about gentle nourishment, warm tea, broth, simple meals. Your body is working hard. Fuel it kindly. Let's talk about something counterintuitive, leaning into the pain rather than resisting it. Pain researcher Lorimer Mosley at University of South Australia explains that when we fight physical discomfort, we actually amplify it through tension and fear. With heartbreak pain, trying to stop thinking about it or just get over it often backfires. Instead, what if you could approach the sensations with curiosity? Notice where exactly it hurts. Is it a sharp sting or a dull ache? Does it have edges or does it spread? This mindful observation, studied extensively by John Kabat-Zinn at UMass Medical School, changes your relationship to pain from "this is destroying me" to "this is a sensation moving through me." The difference is subtle but neurologically significant. Social connection is medicine too, even when you want to isolate. University of Chicago psychologist John Cacioppo's loneliness research demonstrates that social pain triggers the same threat response as physical pain, and social support literally dampens that response. Reaching out doesn't mean you have to talk about the breakup if you don't want to. Sometimes just sitting with a friend watching a movie or texting someone having a rough day regulates your nervous system through co-regulation. Your friend's calm presence signals safety to your amygdala, reducing cortisol production. This is why after a good cry with someone who just listens, you often feel physically lighter. Your body has discharged some of the stress load. Now, about memories and triggers. Why does a song or smell suddenly bring the pain rushing back? Your brain stores emotional memories with sensory details attached. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux at NU calls this emotional memory consolidation. When you hear that song you both loved, your brain doesn't just recall the memory, it partially re-experiences the original emotional state, complete with physical sensations. This isn't you being stuck in the past, it's your brain doing exactly what it evolved to do. Remember what caused pleasure or pain so you can seek or avoid it in future. The good news is that each time you experience the trigger without the person being there, your brain gradually updates the memory, weakening the association. Let's address something practical. What to do in the middle of the night when the pain feels overwhelming. First, get out of bed if you've been lying there more than 20 minutes. Sleep researcher Allison Harvey at UC Berkeley confirms that staying in bed while anxious trains your brain to associate bed with distress. Move to another room. Make some caffeine-free tea. Wrap yourself in a blanket. Do something gentle with your hands. Knit, doodle, fold laundry to engage your motor cortex and distract from rumination. Write down whatever's circling in your mind on paper to get it out of your head. These actions signal to your nervous system that you can handle this moment, which begins to shift the panic response. Time perception changes with heartbreak too. Why does healing feel so slow? Pain researcher David Linden at Johns Hopkins explains that emotional distress alters time perception, making minutes feel like hours. Your brain is hyper-focused on threat, scanning for solutions, which creates time dilation. Meanwhile, the neural pathways you built with your partner don't disappear overnight. University College London studies show that it takes approximately 66 days on average to form new habits or neural pathways. So be patient with the timeline. The physical pain will lessen in waves, not in a straight line. Some days will feel better, then a memory will surface and it'll hurt again. That's normal neural rewiring, not regression. Here's where we get to something beautiful: post-traumatic growth. While heartbreak hurts, it can also create psychological strengthening. Researchers Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun at University of North Carolina documented that people who navigate significant emotional pain often develop greater empathy, deeper appreciation for life, and clearer personal values. The key is integration, not just getting over it, but making meaning from it. What did this relationship teach you about what you need? What boundaries matter to you? What qualities do you value in connection? Asking these questions while the physical pain is still present helps transform suffering into wisdom rather than just waiting for it to pass. Before we wrap up, I want to mention something about community. If you're watching this and feeling alone with your heartbreak, you're actually part of a vast human experience. Every culture throughout history has developed rituals for heartbreak: mourning songs, separation ceremonies, love loss poetry. Anthropologist Helen Fisher estimates that over 90% of humans experience significant heartbreak at least once. Your physical pain connects you to generations of people who loved deeply and lost. There's comfort in that shared humanity, even when it hurts. And hey, if this video is helping you understand what's happening in your body, would you consider hitting like and subscribing? Every like and subscription actually helps this channel reach more people who might need this information during their own tough moments. Let's talk about one more physical intervention: cold exposure. Placing something cool on your chest or the back of your neck activates the mammalian diving reflex, slowing heart rate and calming the nervous system. Try a cold washcloth or even splashing your face with cool water during acute moments of panic. University of Wisconsin researcher Richard Davidson has shown that brief cold exposure increases heart rate variability, a marker of nervous system resilience. It's a direct, immediate way to tell your body, "I've got you," when the emotional pain feels too intense to manage psychologically. Combine this with slow breathing for compounded effect. As we near the end, I want to emphasize something. Healing isn't about returning to who you were before. It's about integrating the experience into who you're becoming. Neuropsychiatrist Dan Siegel's interpersonal neurobiology work shows that integration, Linking differentiated parts into a functional whole is the core of mental health. The you who loved that person, the you who hurt, the you who's healing these aren't separate people but aspects of a continuous self. The physical pain will fade as your nervous system learns new patterns of safety and connection. Be gentle with the process. And if you're wondering what helped others most during their heartbreak, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else feel less alone tonight. Finally, remember that your capacity to feel this deeply is also your capacity to love deeply. The same neural systems that create attachment pain are the ones that create bonding joy. UCLA researcher Shelley Gable's work on capitalization shows that sharing positive experiences with responsive others actually strengthens relationships more than avoiding negative ones. So your sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's the foundation for meaningful connection when you're ready. Be patient. Your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do: protect you from loss and motivate you toward connection. The pain will transform in its own time. And turning on notifications for this channel means you'll know when new videos drop that might help during other tough moments. Consider it a little support system in your pocket. And hey, before you go, there's a 3D game called Inner Phoenix. You walk through it like a quiet temple with rooms for what you're observing, what you're feeling, what you need, and what you might try next. It was made for exactly these moments of heartbreak and healing. No pressure. It's in the description below whenever you're ready, or you can scan the QR code at the end of this video. Your heartbreak physically hurts because you're human, because you loved, because connection matters. Be kind to yourself through the ache. Thanks for watching.